morning, everybody. It's Sheldon Betteridge, and this is Sheldopedia on 92.7 Arrow FM. On today's show, we're eager to talk about a present part of New Zealand legend plus Obama criticism of Trump. That's all coming up after we played. Minutes go by my eyes on Sheldopedia.
Pulled back cause the sweat's dripping off of her face. Said it ain't so bad if I wanna make a couple mistakes. You should know right now that I never stay put in one place forever and ever, no more. The midnight sky is the road I'm taking, head high up in the clouds. Oh, I was born to run, I don't belong to anyone. Oh no. Don't belong to anyone. Oh no, I don't need to be loved by you. Fire in my lungs can't fight the devil on my tongue. You know, don't need to be loved by you. See his hands on my waist, thought you'd never be replaced, baby. Oh, you know it's true. Yeah, that I was born to run. I don't belong to anyone. Oh no.
Minutes go by Miley Cyrus on Sheldopedia on Arrow FM. Sorry, I was lost for words. I just no idea what to say in the script. Yeah. Where before we get on to the before we get on to the things about the polls about political instances. Is all video about Prime Sword died on the Bible on Friday, but the decision we never levels to will move is expected at the later date.
A decision on whether New Zealand will move up or down alert levels is expected on Monday. Cabinet says it'll rely on information right up to the hour before they meet to make their decision. Current alert levels are still in place until Wednesday. Auckland at level 3 with the rest of the country in level 2. 5 new cases were confirmed in the community yesterday, all linked to the Auckland cluster. Epidemiologist Michael Baker says that's a good sign.
The fact that the case numbers have stayed flat and in fact maybe even declining slightly today, I think is very good news and suggests that this outbreak is being contained. Obviously we'll have to wait another week and then we'll see the full effects of the lockdown, but I think this is very good news so far.
There are now 101 active cases in New Zealand. 5 people are currently being treated in hospital for the virus.
Wow. Well, for the reasons the US President and also Fed's data on New Zealand's COVID-19 response. Despite data provided by US President Donald Trump, believes New Zealand's latest COVID-19 community outbreak is out of control. For the third time this week, World leader has taken aim at the cluster that emerged in the community in Auckland. We've done an incredible job. You look at our mortality rates, he said, about the US, which reported 132,416 COVID-19 related deaths to date. He noted country regularly compared to New Zealand, which marked 102 days without evidence of a virus in the community just a week ago before. If I would like to get better ask your other side, talk about New Zealand. He said about rally in Old Forge, Pennsylvania. New Zealand, it's over for New Zealand's everything gone by beautiful here, Peter mock. This is and Reuters said in a tweet, Trump compares coronavirus outbreak favorably with New Zealand and South Korea. Those countries together had under 300 new COVID cases yesterday. The US had more than 43,000. 5 new community-based COVID-19 cases were identified on Thursday, all linked to existing Auckland cluster. 78% of the country's 101 active cases make up the cluster, and leftover cases are all international imports. The source of the outbreak is still under investigation. There's just one case being investigated. There's no obvious link to the Auckland community outbreak. The most recent update from a US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention noted the increase of 45,000 cases across the US. In Pennsylvania, the state where Trump is rallying, 126,149 confirmed and probable cases been reported to date. Supervisor negotiator of a new team reviewing the testing situation at the border described New Zealand's situation on Friday morning as an envy of the world. Speaking to News Talk CB, Mike Hoskin wrote was surprised to see New Zealanders bidding for himself for every infringement. His comments with regard to the failed staff testing regime was mandated by the government in July, not completely rolled out at the border or within isolation and quarantine facilities. Health Minister Chris Hager has clarified on Thursday there is no evidence to suggest the widespread of testing of staff at the border and within managed isolation and quarantine facilities would have prevented the Auckland outbreak. Chairman Secretary has found no link between the virus strain and the community and strains identified from a COVID positive returnees in quarantine. This president said very big surge in COVID-19 cases in New Zealand.
Comparison between New Zealand's current cluster and the tens of thousands of cases that are being seen daily in the United States. Obviously, every country is experiencing its own fight with COVID-19. It is a tricky virus, but not one where I would compare New Zealand's current status to the United States.
How damaging is that for us, and how problematic is it for him to be comparing a surge of 9 cases versus 42,000 a day?
I think for anyone who's following COVID and its transmission globally will quite easily see that New Zealand's 9 cases in a day does not compare to the United States tens of thousands, and in fact does not compare to most countries in the real world. I'm not concerned about people misinterpreting our status.
James Shaw described it as absurd. Would you agree?
Well, obviously it's patently wrong. But again, as I say, those people who are following what's happening around the world will see New Zealand's status. We are still one of the best performing countries in the world when it comes to COVID. Our work is focused on keeping it that way.
New Zealand's COVID-19 response has been praised by experts around the world, including by Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the Director General of the World Health Organization, WHO. Media outlets in the US has jumped aboard to promote Sassie's award to New Zealand earlier in the pandemic. An article published and enabled by Anna Fairfield of the Washington Post was titled "New Zealand isn't flattening the curve, it's squashing it." Despite research of virus in the community, the outlook on New Zealand is significantly more optimistic than the US, but Trump appears to ignoring the hard data and continues to claim that New Zealand has seen big surge in cases. A number of confirmed and probable cases in the US exceeds New Zealand's entire population of almost 500,000. Based on the data by CDC, and new census spread, COVID-19 cases make up 1.66% of the entire population in the States. New Zealand's cases only make about 0.03% of the population. Similar infection fatality ratio for each country are almost incomparable. New Zealand's IVR sits at 1.3%, while the ratio in the US more than double that at 3.13%. Next song I will play for us. Take It Down by Jason Duro on Sheldopedia on Arrow FM.
Skirt on your body, performing just like my Rari. You're too fine, need a ticket. I bet you taste expensive. Pouring up by the leader. If you keeping up, you should keep it. Tequila and vodka, girl, you might be a problem. Run away, run away, run away, run away. I know that I should, but my heart wanna stay, wanna stay, wanna stay, wanna stay now. You can see it in my eyes that I wanna take it down right now if I could. So I hope you know what I mean when I say, let me take you dancing. Two-step to the bedroom. We don't need no dance floor. Let me see your best move. Anything could happen. Ever since I met you, no need to imagine. Baby, all I'm asking is let me take you dancing. Like that, 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 that. Skirt on your body, it's just us two in this party. That Louis, that Prada, looks so much better off you. Turn me up, be my waitress. No, we not in love, so let's make it. Tequila and vodka, girl, you might be a problem. Run away, run away, run away, run away. I know that I should, but my heart wanna stay, wanna stay, wanna stay, wanna stay now. You can see it in my eyes that I wanna take it down right now if I could. So I hope you know what I mean when I say, let me take you dancing. Two-step to the bedroom. We don't need no dance floor. Let me see your best move. Anything could happen. Ever since I met you, no need to imagine. Baby, all I'm asking is let me take you dancing. Like that, 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 that. See your best move. Anything could happen. Ever since I met you, no need to imagine. Baby, all I'm asking is let me take you dancing. If you know what I mean. All night dancing.
Witches. Girls, Take It Down by Jason Delura on Sheldopedia on Arrow FM. The COVID-19 cases, what's happening across the world. America against have 5 minutes, have 5 minutes, have 38 cases and 174,963 deaths. and and 2,831 recovered. Brazil's in at second with 35,591 cases, 112 deaths with two massive 357 recovered. India's in at number 3 with 2,836 cases with 33,066 deaths with nearly 2.1 million recovered. Russia's coming in at number 4 with 940,106 cases with 6,099 deaths. 0,550 had recovered. Number 5, South Africa with 5,940 cases with 12,618 deaths. 40,069 recovered. Peru's in at 6 with 5,523 cases with 3,834 deaths with 7,443 recovered. Mammoth Mexico with 5,031 cases with 5,401 deaths and 367,537 have recovered. Mamre Colombia with 50,168 cases with 50,969 deaths with 20,298 recovered. Number 9 is Chile with 191,499 cases with 10,661 deaths with 306,063 recovered. And finally, number 10, Spain with 30,167 cases with 12,997 deaths with 50,576 recovered. Just below that is Jimmy with 12,688 cases with 9,090 with 9,014 deaths and 3,043 have recovered. Canada's in at 103,432 cases with 9,049 deaths. In China, with the outbreak all began, remains at 84,495 cases with 4,634 deaths, and 37,045 have recovered. Ireland's were 23,676 cases with 7,766 deaths with 24,000 have recovered. Australia's in at 2,099 cases with 453 deaths. 50,041 have recovered. Vietnam has surpassed thousands of cases with 25 deaths. New Zealand's currently at 1,054 cases with 22 deaths. So Tanzania has no data, but Um. mm, mm, Um. These countries have not reported a confirmed case in North Korea. 2 minutes of summarized Vanuatu, Samoa, Kiribati, various states of Micronesia, Tonga, Marshall Islands, Palau, Tuvalu, and Nauru. Let Where's an update for you? Kim Jong-un gave us more power to his sister. That Mr. Kim still maintains an absolute authority, but handed various policy areas to others to address his stress levels. The spy agency reportedly said Ms. Kim now steering overall state affairs. National Intelligence Services added, however, spy agency had been wrong about North Korea in the past. But claims were reportedly made during a closed-door briefing on Thursday to South Korea's National Assembly. Walmart has been discussed assessments with journalists. Kim Jong-un still maintaining his absolute authority, but some of them has been handled over by little for agency as quoted as saying Ms. Kim is now responsible for Pyongyang's policy towards the US and South Korea. Other among 50 policy issues is and is de facto leader. The de facto number 2 leader, it added, although Mr. Kim had not selected a successor, Mr. Kim's decision to derelegate wasn't a part to relieve his stress from his reign and avert culpability in the event of policy failure, it said. However, some analysts have been skeptical of intelligence, with website NK News noted she appeared to miss 2 important meetings this month, leading speculation some says that she may have been demoted. She is the younger sister of Kim Jong-un and is only one of his sisters, considered a close and powerful ally. Born in 1987, she is 4 years younger than Mr. Kim, but 2 of them lived and studied in Bern, Switzerland at the same time. Ms. Kim first gained international attention when she was the first member of a Kim dynasty to visit South Korea. She was part of the delegation to the Winter Olympics where North and South competed as a joint team. She worked alongside her brother at international summits, including in meetings with South Korean President Moon Jae-in and China's Xi Jinping and US President Donald Trump. There's no doubt Kim Yo-jong is on the rise. Some analysts believe a crisis earlier this year between North and South Korea, which saw interclean liaison offers blowing to bits, was manufactured just to give her a major platform. She issued the first public statement in March. It was given verbal attack condemning the South. She later noted that she given power authorized by the Supreme Leader our party and the state. She also wrote about the potential for the tie between Kim Jong-un and President Trump later this year, insisting North Korea did not have a slightest intention to pose a threat to the US. Which she may be given responsibility to influence policies towards the United States and South Korea. Let's convince this a little. This does not mean she also see the brother leader of North Korea. She is also not the only one to have given extra responsibilities. Other aides have been handled some power too. It was noted that intelligence briefing specifically states that Kim Jong-un remains in overall control. He's merely delegating. He will have the final say. but is yet another indication that Kim Yo-jong had gone from hiding blood pillars that public affairs Karen Israel's food brother being at the forefront of North Korea's foreign policy. However, as the South Korea spy agencies, North Korea has one of the world's most secretive societies. South Korea's National Intelligence Service may have more than one intelligence, but North is than most other organizations, but it still have a mixed record. For example, in 2016, South Korean media cited similar briefing by the spy agency, which said the chief of the South by North Korean Army, Wei Yong-gil, had been executed. 3 months later, the South Korean government said he appeared to be alive, and his names appeared on a list of party officials. In 2017, a spy agency also admitted it tried to manipulate the result of the 2012 presidential election in the South. So, North Korea, because which I was in North Korea because it's so don't have to catch COVID or won't be a risk catching it. Not like Europe, which can't they say in the researchers and cases. Like Italy or France or even Spain, which saw massive surge in cases. Should all fighters be worried? I know that North Korea has a population of 2.55 million. Compared to Australia's population of only just over 25 million. I'm gonna play a video with about Deborah's quote after Trump.
Donald Trump.
Remember back in 2016 when Trump asked, "What do you have to lose?" Well, now we know, our health ones.
To our country. COVID-19 was Trump's biggest test. He failed miserably.
The family you're born into, the family you choose. I have fought for children, and my mother taught me that service to others gives life purpose and meaning. She probably could have never imagined that I would be standing before you now and speaking these words. I accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States of America. My mother instilled in my sister Maya and me the values that would chart the course of our lives. She raised us to be proud, strong Black women, and she raised us to know and be proud of our Indian heritage. She taught us to put family first, the family you're born into, and the family you choose. She taught us to be conscious and compassionate about the struggles of all people, to believe public service is a noble cause, and the fight for justice is a shared responsibility. This week marks the 100th anniversary of the passage of the 19th Amendment, and we celebrate the women who fought for that right. Yet so many of the Black women who helped secure that victory were still prohibited from voting long after its ratification. But they were undeterred, and these women inspired us to pick up the torch and fight on. And years from now, this moment will have passed, and our children and our grandchildren will look in our eyes, and they're going to ask us, where were you when the stakes were so high? They will ask us, what was it like? And we will tell them. We will tell them not just how we felt, we will tell them what we did.
Donald Trump and Donald Trump's
This is it to play a video again.
Trump and Donald Trump's
Donald Trump.
Remember back in 2016 when Trump asked, what do you have to lose? Well, now we know. Our health care, our jobs, our loved ones, our leadership in the world, and even our post office.
I've seen firsthand Donald Trump's disrespect for facts, for working families, and for women in particular. Disrespect written into his policies toward our health and our rights, not just his conduct.
Donald Trump's ignorance and incompetence have always been a danger to our country. COVID-19 was Trump's biggest test. He failed miserably.
The family you're born into, the family you choose. I have fought for children and survivors of sexual assault. I fought against transnational criminal organizations. I took on the biggest banks and helped take down one of the biggest for-profit colleges. I know a predator when I see one.
I did hope, for the sake of our country, that Donald Trump might show some interest in taking the job seriously. That he might come to feel the weight of the office and discover some reverence for the democracy that had been placed in his care. But he never did. For close to 4 years now, he has shown no interest in putting in the work. No interest in finding common ground. No interest in using the awesome power of his office to help anyone but himself and his friends. Donald Trump hasn't grown into the job because he can't. This administration has shown it will tear our democracy down if that's what it takes for them to win.
When I listen to that and then I see the horror that he's left us, the stupidity of the transactions that he made, and the reason I'm here is because of President Obama and Joe Biden, because if they did a good job, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, doubt that. Horror. He's a horrible person. No wonder he's the biggest failure to our democracy. And physicist Kamala Harris speak in a speech. Whenever you're born into and she's a survivor of a sexual assault case. Next song, it is set. It is set. It is another track from a Finnish metal scene. Physicist Sun's Winter starts by Winter Sun on Sheldopedia on Arrow FM. That was As Humanity Waits by Maud Subter on Sheldopedia on Arrow FM. Let's tell you the top 10 most social countries in the world. Number 10, Japan with a score of 88.34. Number 9, Canada with 88.81. Number 8, Germany with 88.84. Number 7, New Zealand with 88.93. Number 6, Iceland with 89.29. Number 5, Sweden with 89.45. Number 4, Finland with 56. Number 3, Switzerland, our only non-Nordic nation in the top 5 with 89.89. Number 2, Denmark with a score of 90.09. And finally, coming in the top spot is Norway with a score of 1995. Australia ranked in at number 12 with 88.02. Followed by UK Ireland with 87.98 and 87.97 respectively. The United States ranked at 26 with 80.62. South Sudan remains the least social to progress country in the world, followed by both its Central African Republic, Chad and Eritrea. Next song, it is Oh Boy by Mud on Sheldopedia on Arrow FM.
All my love, all my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world will see that you were meant for me. All my life I've been waiting, tonight there'll be no hesitating, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world will see that you were meant for me. Stars appear and the shadow is a hole, is a fool. I could be on my heart and roll with a little bit of love and make everything right. I'm gonna see my baby tonight. All my life I've been waiting, tonight there'll be no hesitating, oh boy, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, oh boy, the world will see that you were meant for me.
All my life I've been waiting, tonight there'll be no hesitating. Oh boy, when you're with me, oh boy, the world will see that you were meant for me.
Stars appear and shadows are calling, I can hear my heart calling. A little bit of love will make everything right. I'm gonna see my baby tonight. All my love, all my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world will see that you were meant for me. All my love, all my kissing, you don't know what you've been missing, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world will see that you were meant for me. All my life I've been waiting, tonight there'll be no hesitating, oh boy. When you're with me, oh boy, the world will see that you were meant for me.
That was Oh Boy by Mud on Sheldopedia on Arrow FM. Next song, it is Barry Flex by the Drain on Sheldopedia on Arrow FM. Fails a reflex by Drain Drain on Sheldopedia. Next up, it is Hump Around by Bobby Brown on Sheldopedia on Arrow FM. A top for charts in Australia, number 2 New Zealand, and number 3 in its native United States.
Come on. Come on. Kick it. Come on. Damn. Oh, come on. Kick it. Back to the big brown. Back to the big brown. Everybody, let's go. Bounce, bounce, bounce.
Feels Humping Around by Bobby Brown on Sheldopedia on Arrow FM. The fact of the day is... Let with over 5.3 million followers as of 2019, Buddhism is the world's fourth largest religion. That's it for Sheldopedia. I hope you have a great time. I'll see you next Friday. Bye.